goodness. Oh, lordy. Alright, are we recording? Yes, we are. Alright. So, welcome back to the letter, everyone. Last time, as you know, let me just make sure they haven't added anything new to the game. You know, maybe I made it big again. Who knows? No, I'm joking, bro. But, yeah, as y'all know, last time, it was pretty fun. But we have more to play, don't we? So let's get right into it. Marianne. Though I'm able to keep myself professional at all times, does not mean I like it. And seeing that most of the day has already gone by before I realized it, I chose to head back to my flat instead. Despite today being a Saturday. No fun, but at least this way I can definitely afford another unpleasant encounter. Considering how much I'll be seeing whiskey in the near foreseeable future, I have a feeling I'll need all the rest of the weekend can give me. For the first time in a long while, excited as I am to work on the mansion, I cannot wait to be over and done with this project. October 24th on a Monday. Monday couldn't come any sooner. After taking the 4 bands from Santos. I'm sorry, guys, I'm tired. The day before the last, I spent most of my Sunday drawing up plans and calling in my suppliers. Although no design choices have been made yet, I'm quite sure that they'd want high-end appliances, the most expensive materials, and the most pretentious everything. They usually did these rich types. Yup. They usually did these rich types. I can't relate, though. Based from experience, at least. Given how badly this whole thing started, it wouldn't hurt to be prepared. I have to check myself. Make sure I'm not playing with my gloves as one of the other building tenants who makes the elevator up with me. Makes me self-conscious when the woman's eyes go over me, and I'm sure she is going to point out some perceived flaw in my physical appearance. But I'm saved from being paranoid when they went off a few floors later. Still, the ride up to my floor is nerve-wracking. The Wrights lived at the very top. The penthouse, the creme de la creme. The creme de la creme when it comes to condominium, urban living. Just getting access to the place is an ordeal of its own. I had to jump so many hoops, so many security checks just to secure a key card, not only because of building management, but because of the Wright's personal security. It's how I felt like I was being interrogated for a crime and not visiting a client at their home. And when their personal assistant called in to help out and verify my presence, the process is aggravated rather than hastened. Speaking of the devil. The elevator door opens and I'm greeted by none other than Whiskey's not-so-little lackey.
I do apologize if I kept Mr. and Mrs. Wright waiting.
Yeah, you did! Jesus, how loud is my thing at? Jesus.
But I'm here now and I'm ready, so if I may, where are they?
Where are they? Well, I don't know, actually.
They've just woken up, but they should be down soon.
Hans. I forget his name. I think it was Hoans or Juans or something.
I'm surprised to see you made it through security. And only 5 minutes late.
You said I'd be through security soon, and it took half an hour. Define soon in this context.
Yeah.
I'd make myself comfortable if I were you. I'm going to go and put the kettle on.
About the tea, I don't want to intrude or anything.
The sir does not like being woken up by the whistling. But who am I to deny tea to a guest?
He showed me to the couch before drifting off towards the kitchen, quietly pulling out a teapot, cups, and all sorts of other things in preparation for the tea. I ignore the animosity towards his employer that his words implied. I wouldn't be too surprised if Whiskey's own people don't like him. Acting the quiet and isolation instead. I brace myself for what's to come. In this case, soon apparently means more than 5 minutes or even 10. Sit in their living room just waiting. When the caller starts whistling and the tea has been served, I continue to wait. At least the sciences reaction. But then there's a crash. I nearly spilled tea all over my lap and surprisingly I look up expecting security to come running. Even the man at the kitchen counter just continues to fix breakfast like he learned nothing. I don't want to speak up about it because he looks far too absorbed in his cooking and I don't want to be the cause of burnt food or worse. However, there's something in me that just wants to figure out what that was, although I'm normally not this nosy. What should I do? Check it out. The crash came from the hallway and I really shouldn't be snooping about, but it's just concern. Yeah, concern that urges me to check it out. I glance at the butler, I consider sneaking off,
Excuse me, but where's the loo?
He barely looks at my way before pointing a spatula towards the hallway. It's a good excuse as any. And if I'm caught lingering longer than I should, I could just excuse myself and say that I wasn't sure which door led where. Still looking into the hallway reveals nothing I didn't see. I don't see that might have caused the crash. Oh my god, I'm not ready for this. 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 I'm not ready, chat. The hallway, like the rest of the place, is in pristine condition. There are several doors for not only the toilet, but also presumably rooms for the butler and other members of staff. As I stand there, however, something feels definitely out of place. Out of the doors, when the nearest within reach stands ajar, and from inside a light flickers incessantly. It could simply be a light bulb that needs replacing, but the thought of it in a place so well taken care of seems off. I think that maybe this is where that crash came from. Inside, I can spy a radio lying on the floor. It's probably it, right? Maybe one of the help in a hurry to get out of the room knocked over it in the process. That's all it is. I should really leave it alone. As I turn to leave, the sound of static fills the air and a man's tiny voice interrupts the silence.
At 7 in the morning, students found a 5th year dead.
A 5th year? Why am I still standing?
Assumed to have fallen from her dormitory window.
This seems familiar, doesn't it?
Authorities are investigating the possibility of foul play.
Like I've heard it before.
Reporting from St. Samthins, Shane McLaughlin of Galway Bay, AM.
What the? I recall backing away from whatever that was. Oh my god, that was a jump scare, bro. I don't like that. Okay, I didn't scream, but I was just like, what the? Reading the thing, but that was also a genuine what the? Bro, Jesus. In the process, I jerk backwards on my feet and I wait for the pain of falling flat on my back. But instead, I feel a hand on my back and see the slight smile of, well, guess who?
Oh, don't tell me you're reporting to work drunk, Mint.
Of course, I know exactly who that voice belongs to. God damn it, Luke. Whiskey. It just have to be him.
Marianne McCullough, hammered on the job? That would be something.
But if I had been burned, I push him away from me with a deep scowl on my face. Even a sliced touch makes me sick. And that smug smile on his face makes me want to come in contact with him, if only to break his nose with my fist.
Is that any way to say hello to a good friend?
We aren't friends. Let's get that straight first off, Mr. Wright. Secondly, you're a married man, so that thing that happened shouldn't have happened.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me it wasn't even a little fun. A bit of a romp never hurt anybody.
No, it wasn't fun, and we shouldn't have done it. But since we did, let's pretend it didn't happen and never speak of it again.
Yeah.
I was drunk and had no self-control. Don't I get a free pass?
No. Restraint and patience are necessary things when dealing with people, and I must have a whole lot of it. Consider I'm not tearing him a new hole. I can't believe this guy. I don't even see any inkling of shame or guilt about the fact that he cheated on his wife.
What? No, you don't get a free pass. How can you even say that with such a straight face? You do realize what you've done, don't you? Even if you were drunk, the fact of the matter is, you had at one point taken off your wedding ring and knowingly cheated on your missus. I am quite sure you didn't have one and you blatantly told me you were single when you chatted me up at the bar.
And you're the saint then? But according to you, I was drunk. So you must have taken advantage of me in my state. I fail to see why I'm the only one to blame in this situation.
I don't think things can get any more preposterous. But apparently I was wrong.
We were both drunk, you bastard. Don't you dare try to twist this around. You don't know who you're messing with.
I'm afraid you're the one who doesn't know who you're messing with, lassie. I know who you are, Marianne McCullough. I've looked into you, you bloody bog jumper. You're nothing but a glorified turf cutter. I'd be careful with how I speak if I were you. What's that saying about biting the hand that pays you? It goes something like that.
He looked into me? How much does he know about me then? Does he know about my father? Does he know about her? The thought that he has acknowledged she can hang over my head kills any fight I have. Instead, I feel sick. This is sick. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's sick in the head one way or another. The dead air between us, because it can't be anything else but that, is broken as a lively voice calls out from the loft.
Marianne! I hope I haven't kept you waiting too long. I know we agreed we'd start at 10 o'clock, but mornings just simply do not agree with me. Not one bit. It's been like this since I've been in university.
It's 5 minutes to 11 o'clock. These high-end clients sure like to be fashionably late. I'm used to it, though, much like I'm used to so many years of hearing people mispronounce my name. Besides, braiding or correcting my client would be extremely impolite. And Marianne doesn't sound too bad when she says it. To be fair, it doesn't seem like she's late on purpose.
I see you're up, darling. You know, you could have woken me up as well. Were you showing Marianne around? Not that there's much to see. This place is so tiny compared to the mansion.
Exactly. I'm more worried about the way she stares at me, judging such a look. Doesn't suit her pretty face at all. Just seeing Mrs. Wright reminds me too much of her. Maybe I'm starting to hear her again, see her again, when I shouldn't. I should have left it all behind, forgotten it. To think she would be looking at me that way, I just can't feel my hands. I can just feel my hands.
Oh,
tremble.
yes, just showing her around and getting to know each other. Isn't that right, Marianne?
Yes, of course. And your butler was making breakfast a while ago. So if you want to get right to that...
Breakfast would be lovely.
There's no denying the clients when they invite me over to the table. Though it is too personal to share a meal in their home, it'd be terribly rude to deny their invitation. Besides, the pancakes did look and smell heavenly. Oh, those are some good-looking pancakes. Damn. Sorry, I needed a drink, bro. A bowl of clotted cream, fruit syrups, jams, and other spreads are laid out next to them, making for a colorful arrangement. If this was a brunch with friends, I would have gladly helped myself to the whole lot. It is, I accepted just a few pieces of pancake and topped it off with lemon and sugar.
You know, I was a tiny bit serious when I said I wanted a helipad.
I bet you were, Mr. Wright.
And you're not serious about the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables?
Well, I do want those too, but I know you'll agree to those.
We're talking about interiors here, honey. You don't handle exterior designs and whatever handles those sorts of projects do you, Marianne?
I'm able, actually, and willing to take a project of that nature. I was an architect in Ireland before. Of course, that's another contract entirely. I also suggest we finish the house itself before working on any additions to the rest of the property. There won't be any problems about ownership this time, will there? Pardon if I'm crossing a line, but the acquisition was rather quick.
Oh, don't you worry. We've got everything sorted this time around. I've talked to Miss Cooper and Mr. John from BRC, as well as the old owners. Everything has been paid in full, and all we're waiting for is the paperwork from the land registry. They're letting us move in as soon as we please. It's not like they were living there in the first place.
That's good to hear. The problems that could arise from renovating another person's home would be... well, let's not dwell on it. First off, we'll want to know how you want the place to look. It's pretty furnished as is, but I understand if you want to modernise the whole thing.
Actually, I'd prefer to keep the place looking as it is, but at the same time, I want modern appliances. You worked on the Ludgate's Christchurch summer residence. I do remember there being an oven I thought was a simple drawer before. Make them look vintage, antique, blend in with the rest of the decor.
Customize appliances then. I can't find someone for that, and if you can't tell me what you specifically want, it'll hasten up the process. We're talking about electronic appliance manufacturers. If you have a preferred brand to work with.
Splendid! So, what is next on our agenda? All the other interior designers we've hired in the past did not have us this involved.
Stop. I'm sure a half-baked designer did that. If I knew who they were, I would have words. This isn't the time or place for it, however. Instead, I use this brief pause to pull out the floor plans I brought with me.
We'll have to figure out what you want to do with the rooms. Here, we can have a quick run through.
What is that little room next to the master's bedroom?
Oh, as far as I could tell when I saw it, it's a second bedroom of sorts. Used, apparently, for the ladies in waiting who has served Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. Which is strange, as that isn't the norm for these sorts of houses.
Well, we're not stuffing Johans in there. He won't fit. You don't suppose we could turn it into a walk-in closet and a dressing room?
I love fashion, but do we really need to turn an entire room into a walk-in closet, dear? We'll have large closets and a wardrobe in the bedroom already.
Says the one who takes 3/5 of our closet. Well, what do you suggest we do with it?
I thought a utility room of some sort would be nice. A craft room where I can do fun things.
Hey, Miss Wright. Yuck. You know what's right.
Or maybe a children's room might be nice. You know, for when Kylie comes over. Or if Rochelle visits once she's had a baby.
Yeah.
1, you are not inviting that witch. And 2, there's a whole mansion for Kylie to play in. We don't need a children's room, and you don't even do arts and crafts. I'd like to turn the guest's room and the study into my personal office, by the way, if you don't mind.
You can turn it into a personal office if I can have my utility room. It's just the one room of the many. I'm taking that room for myself, no matter what you say, dearie. So you might as well take this deal. You're always out doing business anyway. The real problem is the theatre. Whatever are we going to do with all that space?
I have an idea, but y'all probably aren't going to agree, right? And hear me out, right? Okay? Y'all are going to be so surprised with what I'm about to say, right? Use it as a theater. Oh my god, bro.
Fine. We could turn it into our own personal cinema, I suppose. Might as well have it, if you plan on not having a telly in the parlor.
Yes, well, I don't want guests to be glued to the telly when they come over for a meal and some tea. By the looks of things, we can keep the rooms as what they are on the ground floor, though. The ballroom would be perfect for parties.
Do we really need a dining hall, though? I don't suppose we can't convert it into a garage.
What for? You can park your cars outside.
What about that room? Right there, in the northeast corner.
That's sleeping quarters for the household help?
Where? Bedrooms.
Oh, that is perfect! Johans will be glad if we have other staff members who stayed in. It'd be convenient so they don't have to make the trip from Luxbourne to the mansion when they're needed.
You'll definitely need a lot more people to maintain a property of this size.
The mansion is really a lot bigger than I thought. Look at all these rooms. I didn't even know there was a music room next to the parlor because of what happened.
Paula.
There was a grand piano in there too, when we checked during the tour.
Did you hear that, Luke? Maybe you can take up playing the piano again. Oh, you should have seen him when we were younger, Marianne.
It's not like I was very good with the thing.
Oh, hush you. You were no Mozart, but I loved hearing you play nonetheless. He'd come over to my home and he'd play such fun tunes. He'd sing too and I'd dance and it was just...
Mr. Wright plays the piano. I can't imagine it. But the earnest way in which Mrs. Wright said so told otherwise.
Anyway, what do you think of these plans, Marianne?
Are we not even going to consider one of my requests? Not even just a closet or just a garage? Now, that isn't fair, is it? You're not the only one who's going to be living here.
I hardly see how that's unfair. I told you you're getting your office and your theatre, the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables. That sounds fair, does it not, Marianne?
Well, yes, it sounds fair. Mrs. Wright has her points, though I really didn't want to butt into the spat of a husband and wife. But with the way the two were looking at me to settle this, I might as well just keep the facts instead of giving an opinion.
Mr. Wright, your plan isn't quite feasible from an architectural perspective. I'm not even sure how much we can do without closer inspection. Well, the one about the garage, at least. A walk-in closet is easy enough, but the garage?
See, a garage isn't architecturally feasible, and it isn't going to be financially sound as well. We're already going to spend a lot on your other equipment.
What? Did you calculate that on the fly?
Yeah.
Financially sound my foot. You're probably just thinking up of imaginary numbers.
Might I remind you that I was a financial manager? I also looked over and approved the expenses of our other houses. I know the rough costs of these things by now, love. Masters in business administration, major in accounting. Sometimes I think you forget that I'm not as dumb as I act.
Yeah. That catches my attention more than anything. It sounds more unbelievable than Whiskey playing the piano. She really didn't seem like the type.
Business administration and accounting? What university?
Lux upon you, of course. Go Lux Dragons, red and gold.
Excuse me, how about we move on this chit-chat ahead and do whatever else needs to be done sometime today? I had to cancel my appointments for this, you know.
Appointments? Screw your appointments, Mr. Wright. We're talking, okay? Slab.
We might as well do a proper inspection with the designer this time, just to get it out of the way.
Yes, no time like the present. You want a thorough inspection? Might as well do it now. We actually took another look at the property yesterday, though it was brief.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you would want to see it yourself, to spot anything we might have missed.
Bet. Show me that property, Miss Wright. Not like I have much of a choice, do I? Riding to the Ermegon mansion in their rice is an awkward affair. And chat, that's where I'm ending today's episode off. Not only am I worried about scuffing the expensive leather seats, but I'm also worried about getting in the middle of another couple spat. Alright. Let's just save. Empty. Quit. Yes, I didn't even check if my load game. Alright. So I will see you all next time. Squabble up. Bye-bye.